Monday morning. Quality check. Okay, that's all right. So those stair gates, they're going in the van now. That's the last one to go in, and the trims. Go to that job, get that job done. I don't actually know how long it's going to take, because I was just going to put them on flush hinges, which is very quick and easy to do because I haven't got to chop the hinges in. But I'm sort of debating whether to pick up some other hinges, because they're a bit heavier than I would have liked, actually. I mean, they are hardwood, aren't they? But anyway, just thought I'd bring you on just to show you. You'll notice here, obviously I've got my bins back, they're empty again, so I can go back to where they got to go. I've cleared all this space, so me and the kids at the weekend got here. All the shavings are up there now, and they actually go too deep, too high. Plus I've still got all of this. I worked out, I got the equivalent of about 35 bags of shavings. I just realised I've left the paint up here. 35 bags of shavings, so yeah, that's going to be a lot of fire briquettes. Right, I'll get to this job and I'll update you in a little bit, I guess. Right, see you in a bit. Right, lovely. I am been here about an hour, got my kit set up, all my stuff out of the van, got me, table saw, chop saw, got loads of stuff, every tool in the book set up really. Got all my gates and that on the job. And all I've done thus far is I've just scribed this into the wall. It will need caulking. There's just no two ways about it really. The wall's too lumpy and bumpy for it. It'd be alright if it was just a panel, because it's got to be, if I was scribing just a panel in, but just trying to actually drill and plug that in and get that bang on, it just needs a little bit of caulk. Yeah, so that shows you how far out the wall is, and I've got the same problem up there on that one. So I'm now debating, is it best, sorry, make sure that's on, is it best for me to go fit the top one like that one and let the glue go off, and then go around, because all the others are fitted straight into timber like the newel posts or into a bit of timber panelling. So it's probably beneficial for me just to, and timber to timber is a decent fixing, it's beneficial for me to get that in, get the glue going off against the plaster, while I just fine tune all the other processes. Then I probably will do some filming of me just installing one of them. I've really got to go. So they're done, there's 4. Let's have a look at them. 1. Whoa. Big jump. 2. do we leave that light on? I'll leave that one shut. 3! Oh my God, this is going insane. You go. 4! Yeah! Right, I'm late, really late. That took forever. And I'm going to be late to pick my kids up. My little girl finishes gymnastics in about 45 minutes, and I'm 45 minutes from home, and I've got to pick her friend up for the first time ever. So if I cock that up, I'll never hear the end of it. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning, it's 10:30 already. I have basically taken the kids to school, made a few phone calls, and now finally got to work. You know, like, and I've got to pick the kids up, and I've got to take them to our school clubs. So I'm not going to get a great deal of work done, but at least I get to spend a lot more time with the kids today. Yeah, so I'll just, obviously I had yesterday was, I finished those stairgates. That went quite well. Just took a bit longer than I thought, but they're done, they're dusted, they do look good. I didn't get a lot of footage though, because I was aware I was cutting it tight. Anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to route all of this. I'm going to route these. That will take about 5-10 minutes by the time I sand it as well. If you look at this video up here, that's how I do that. That will go into more detail. I'm not going to include that in this. I might do a little bit of it. Then also, if you look at this panel up here, I'm going to machine all of that, and I'm going to machine that out of tulip wood. I wouldn't normally do my end panels in like hardwood. I'd normally do them in like an engineered product. But I don't think the lady's going to be very happy with like an MDF end panel in that situation. It wants ventilation holes in and stuff as well, and she may add something else to it. So I'd rather do that in solid wood. I've got enough. I bought some extra the other day. It's not the end of the world. And then I'm going to do, and also if you look at this video, that would go into more detail of me doing the tongue and groove and stuff somewhere in there. And then I'm also going to do these panels. Now those panels, they're going to be done in MDF. I've not gone into much detail on those before. So what I'll do is when I get to near the end, hopefully I'll get all this done today. When I get to near the end, I'll actually include a little bit of detail that I do on these, my kitchen end panels, how I do them. It's something I've invented, I think anyway. And I like it, you know. Well, yeah, I do. I like it because a lot of my kitchens end up being a little bit deeper than standard because they're bespoke. So yeah, anyway, I'll go into detail that nearer the time. Well, I'm going to crack on, and I shall just pick you up as and when. So if you don't see me again, I've had a really bad day. If you do see me again, it'll be updating you on something just like so fascinating. You know, like that will just something to live for, isn't it? Really. Right. I'll speak to you in a little bit. Nice little bit of router action there for you, just to ease you into this next segment. And we're in. So this is the tulip wood that I've thickness and planed. That's 5 boards to create this panel. And then, need that, don't I? Put that down, idiot. Yeah, and then basically I've done 3 other boards, which basically are for these panels, as I said this morning. 1, 2, 3. Now there's only 4 grooves on that, whereas it really needs to have 5. So what I do, this is how I do things slightly different. I'll just put you down in here. Basically what I do is I take another board with the same detail on, and I'll actually mechanically fix this to the wall on pocket holes and a batten, maybe just here, and then that also then gets scribed to the wall, because a lot of my kitchens are a lot deeper, and they're on old houses where the walls are a bit wobbly. So once this is nice and level and square on the wall, which I should be doing next week, hopefully, you clip this little sort of biscuit that I make up in, and that's actually full length, and you glue that in, and then you then butt this panel into that panel on the wall, and it sort of holds itself. And then from, ignore, I've not cut these ones down yet, but basically that then gives you the, you know, replicates that you've got the 5 panels. And I actually set the biscuits in the exact same depth as the bottom of the V groove. That's purely because your outer bits have quite often got a little flat spot on the top on them V grooves, I've noticed. Which I won't be able to pick up on the camera. But anyway, yeah, smashed it, hit my targets, got to go get the kids. So tomorrow, what will we do tomorrow? Well, tomorrow I think I'll go pick up the oak for that countertop, for the bench seat, and we'll just jump on that. Yeah, see you in the morning. Put my seatbelt on now. Here we are. Yeah, that's it. Right, Wednesday morning. I am just come out of Glenmere Timber in Market Harbour. I'm not sure if I've actually recommended these guys before, but they do all hardwood veneers from logs, all sawn timber. That's where I get it from. I cannot recommend this firm enough. Like, for a start, the size of the company just blows your mind. It is ridiculously big. All the lorries and yards they got, but you just don't get that feel when you're talking to somebody. Every time I go there, I end up talking to pretty much someone new, getting me timber, and they're just so nice and welcoming. You know, just the lads in the yard are just brilliant, and really they're sort of used to people going in there buying. Are you coming, mate? Because, like, seriously, just move. Like, when you move, I move. There you go. They really used to dealing with people that are buying, you know, pallets of the stuff. So I'm not big business to them. I dare say a lot of the time I'm a pain in the arse. I've just sorted through a load of oak. I've just basically taken a load of oak out of the joinery grade that I want, rather than buying prime. They've not said a word. Yeah, just, you know, fill your boots, sort yourself out. I can't do it to everyone, obviously, and there are times I take the rough with the smooth, but every now and then I don't, and they never question it. They never question it. Glenmere Timber, Market Harbour. Don't get yourself down there, actually, because I don't think they really like members of the public going in. I don't really want you to sort of eat into my quota of being a pain in the arse. But yeah, if you need them, or if you hear of some, just Glenmere Timber. They're wicked. They're awesome. I'm going to pay. Alright, catch up with you in a little bit. But she's not in. 9:22, she fucking should be. 11 o'clock, it's warm outside, it's nice. Right then, what I'm going to try and do is we've got this here. This is the oak I picked up. You can see we've got the odd blemish. Some buying joinery grade. Big one there actually, and there'll be more. Be interesting to see how much more there is. I have this big debate, do I do it in prime? It's a scullery. People like a bit of character. So we've not gone character grade, we've gone joinery grade, which essentially is, you know, in between, I guess. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's just going to do a bit of filming and of bits and bobs, and hopefully that's going to be a little montage. It's probably going to put a solid 6 hours work. I'm probably going to put in now, I don't know. And that little montage is going to make that. Into this all bloody day. Lord, on my fucking hand now. All day that was. Anyway, it's done. So yeah, it looks pretty good as well. Quite happy with that. Couple of knots in it, which I'll you know, it's sort of not character, but yeah, that was nice oiled. Flat as a pancake as well, which is always a result. It takes a long time because they're, like I was saying on the other videos, they are it's hard because they're oak, 40mm, 42mm I think they are when you measure them, deep, so thick, so they're heavy, about 3 meters long, quite heavy to run through the fitting through and planer. So that's why I like to break boards down, because that's really heavy. As you're moving it through, it wants to drop and move and twist. You know, not very flat, but they are now. It just takes a long time. I could do probably a bigger fitting through and planer really, but this is life. Right, see you in the morning. It's Thursday morning. I'm going to do the old Tyson Fury and have a bit of a social media blackout, I think, because I've now got 2 days to get this scullery ready, and it's just basically going to be sanding and filling and painting and whatnot. I've got a few little odd jobs to do to cut a bit. There'll probably be a large list actually by the time I get going on it, but you know, I can't film me sanding and painting. It's just you know, it's of no real interest. So the only other thing I've got to do is I've got to do this. I'll cut this bit back, but probably won't even film that. It's not really worth it. So I've got my sanding pads when I bought a fresh load. Obviously I've got to do that as well. That's not really fact. While I've got you, I'll check, see how flat that is. Yes, it's pretty good. You could argue there's a tiny bit there. Anywhere else? Yeah, exactly the same. And this end here. Yeah, oh there, you could argue that over there's a tiny bit underneath there, but it's pretty flat. That's good. This needs sanding. Just take the marks out. There's no snipe on it, so I've cut them off. Yeah, just got to get going on it really. Get what we get, I guess. So, yeah, this could be the end of the week. I don't know. Probably not. I'll probably find something boring to show you. Not much to update you on. Just showing you a little clip of our pellet for wood. So I've sanded those back now. Yeah, whether or not I'll include that, I could talk about that, but basically, quite often I'll just pellet. Always got pellets. Always worth having a pellet cutter and the 12.7, I think 12.5 mil drill bit. And if you look, you know, that took, I actually think that's quicker than filling, certainly neater. And you have to fine fill it anyway afterwards, which you have to fine fill once you've done a bulk fill. So I think it's better anyway. So I've sanded all this back now. And I've just cut a panel here at 22.5 degrees on the edge, which will form the end of this. And then I've cut this panel here. I've only put one domino in it now because it can be a bugger to get out. So basically, that's 22.5 on the corner. And then you just put, see, even one makes it tight. Just put one domino, 4 mil domino, and I'll put a series of those along. And it'll basically just be like Lego. So when I get to the job, do this one-handed. Probably not. Probably fucking not. There we go. You get to the job, you just click them in. And I'll do the same with that panel onto there. And scribe that into the wall. So that's how I'm going to fit that. And actually, that when that's glued and clamped, that will give that a bit of rigidity. The only thing I wish they would do is, I always feel like this, because it does all your degrees on the domino, I'd almost like if they did an attachment that went over, because your point of reference wants to be the face. So you actually want it to go back on itself rather than, you know, I couldn't do that one from the inside because that's such a small bit. To try and reference that on the insides would be probably a bit dangerous. And also this panel, I've used an 18 mil panel, which is not the same thickness. Won't matter because I'll reference all from the outside. But the domino doesn't let you reference from the outside when doing miters, which is, that is what it is. It's a pretty good bit of kit. I mean, it's only one thing I don't like about it. Right, and the price. Yeah, anyway. Tourette's. Speak to me a bit. Good afternoon, it's Friday. I've just got, I tell you what, it's a lovely day. Let's just show you a little bit of the sun. Look at the sky. I don't really want to show where I am. I'm a bit paranoid, but basically, if I look that way, I can see for miles, just miles. Just gorgeous rolling fields. Sun's out in the middle of nowhere, literally. And basically, in the next month, I'll be able to bring the dogs back in. I've got 2 dogs there, a lab and a spaniel. The spaniel's quite old though, bless her, so I can't, wouldn't be fair to bring her in now. She'd be too cold. I'm not even sure she'll make it to the summer. But anyway, can't wait. So what have I been doing? Well, believe it or not, I spent all day yesterday here, just standing here on a carpet pad with this bit of carpet on my bench, sanding all the doors and everything. I basically start with a 40 or 60 grit on this crappy sander, a scraping chisel and a block plane, but I dropped my block plane literally about an hour ago, knocked it off the bench. So I've got to put it all back together and I hope I haven't snapped something. I don't think I have. It's a really nice little block plane that. Yeah, and I've got a little smoothing plane as well, which I sometimes run over if there's like nasty mill marks from the thickness of planer. Anyway, and then I go on to a Rotex geared, and I go on to these trem papers that are basically, I start at 80. And then I work basically through a series of different 80s and through to 120. I haven't got any 120s there, they're in the box. Go up to 120 and then I finish on 150, 180 on these Abronets. And if you thought that was interesting, that's why I didn't film it. So I basically did that for all of yesterday and about an hour this morning on everything that I've made that's going to be painted, like everything, apart from whatever I forgot, which will be something. Plimps, just noticed, didn't do the plimps. But anyway, that doesn't matter, it's not much of a job. 2.5 hours to spray all of that. So I still have one coat, both sides, because it dries so quick, you can turn most of it over. And the odd little bit is too tall, so I just have it standing up and just give it 2 tight coats basically, so I don't get too many I don't get any runs on it basically, although I have had runs before with the water-based. But that's why I don't necessarily offer the finishing spray all the time, because I haven't really got the setup. Although I can do it, just not for big jobs, not when I've got up there, I don't know how many doors I've got up there, like 15 doors or something. So right, anyway, and 3M panels. And why am I still talking? So what I'm going to do now is, I've got all this oak work now, because we're going to be fitting Monday. I'm not going to have it all ready, but I've got that's basically the bulk of the oak work. There's a little bit on there, and then this slab here which I've made. So basically I'm going to go through and get that ready for oiling. I'll oil it before I go. There's a few little bits and bobs I can do to it as well. Yeah, and then I'll tell you what I will do. I'll glue some battens in here, some little oak battens, so the baskets can slide on. I'll do that, so I'll do all that before oil. So basically, yeah, I'll probably just declamp this, glue them bits of oak, and I probably won't film that. I'll probably just film where I'm at the end of the day, because, you know, you've seen it now, haven't you? You see me cutting wood and planing wood, don't want to see it all the time.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's my week done then. Yeah, so I just did a little video. I think I'll include that of just me prepping that top. Obviously, while I've been doing that, while I've been filming that, me prepping this and oiling this, I've obviously been prepping everything else as well. But it's so bitty, you know. I've been cutting little bits like this little mitre fold to go in one of the cupboards to hide something which I just remembered about. Put these battens on here, glued those on, let them set while I oiled, got everything ready for oiling. Been upstairs, giving everything a second coat and a rub down, a primer. And I might even come in on Sunday and just spray the final coat, the top coat. Anyway, you know, it's not been the best week for filming, but if you've liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments or questions, or I don't know, anything, any sort of information you want to throw at me, just to you know, I can always make you know, stuff I can do. I might actually, because I've got to do a bit of work at home. I've got to make a bed for a mate, and I want to make a bed for my little daughter. So I just stained up some tulip, oiled some tulip wood, different variants of it. This should go brown, to be fair. I'm going to leave it over the weekend. It's gone brown already, actually, because that was really green. This is still green, but yeah, tulip woods, it's not really, people never really oil or stain it. It's normally painted. But I just thought, you know, I get it at such a good price. I can machine that. You know, they're both favours. Well, one's a favour to me, one's a favour to a mate. So it'd be nice to do something different. So yeah, if anyone's, you know, so yeah, you got any ideas, throw them my way, because I might be able to do it, you know. Right. Or if you want to see a bit more of something, you know, if you want to see a little bit more, you know, you want to see a little bit more, I don't know, of a certain, whatever I've been doing, or just anything, basically. Just say hello. Right, anyway, like and bloody subscribe.